Hello everybody, I'm Roadblock. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video, and we're back on the free-to-play. I said this in a recent video, and then it turned into not a regular update video, but it feels like we haven't talked about the free-to-play account in a while. I've been putting out a ton of content, shard pulls, we've been on the free-to-play account, but I haven't really given a summary of what's going on, what to expect, what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, So I wanted to kind of take a step back from all the exciting content that I've been putting out and make an update video about the free to play because I am still playing it. I'm enjoying it. I am back. I did take a small break. I kind of mentioned this in a few videos and on stream where I took like a mini break over a weekend where I didn't really play Raid. I got on, I did the dailies, and then that was it. I wasn't pushing Doom Tower, Cursed City, Tag Team Arena. I only did 5 arena runs. Like, I was just taking a nice little break from the game, because burnout is a thing. And I honestly think it was for the best because it put me mentally in a state where I've been able to improve my content, right? Because I'm excited to play the game and do fun things. And I'm excited for the upcoming fusion and all that stuff. So um, let's talk about what's going on the account. You can see there, I just got another Primal Shard. We'll use that as a segue to talk about the champion training that I've been doing. I've done a lot of champion training during this tournament. I'm not going balls to the wall here. I have been spending brews, doing a little bit of stuff, but I'm content where I'm at here. I have no intention of winning this tournament, and while I do want the legendary book, I'm at the point now where I'm using gems, and I don't think I have enough of a stockpile to continue to push through and get that legendary book without taking resources away from the upcoming fusion. Sorry, that was the champion chase tournament. I did not mean to click on that. I meant to click on the champion training tournament. Now it does end tomorrow. So I do have time to kind of get through and potentially get the legendary book. It's not just the energy. A lot of it too is the work of it. It is, the champion training requires a lot of manual work. You can't really set that up auto. There are ways to do it in RSL Helper, but I've not felt comfortable doing that, and I'm not super try hard on this account. I've mentioned before, I try to keep this relatively casual. I do have a lot more time to play now than I used to, but I still try to keep it relatively casual to relate to you guys so that, I'm not spending every piece of energy every minute of the day. That's not what the average player can do, right? So, but what did we do to win that, or to get those points in that tournament, right? Well, we made big progress. We got Mithrala Lifebane, level 60. Fully ascended now. No masteries yet. That is something that is about to be worked on. And that's probably where I'm going to put my energy now, because I really, really want masteries on Mithrala. But let's talk about Mithrala, why I felt it was necessary to build Mithrala as my next 6-star when we pulled so many champions. Actually, let me pause. Before we talk about Mithrala, let's talk about all of the champions that we've pulled. If you haven't seen my shard pull videos, if you haven't seen any of the other content that I put out, if you missed a video or two and you're just now getting caught up, or whatever the case may be, let's talk about the massive changes that have happened on my account. So we had a 2x void not that long ago where we pulled Constantine and Supreme Elhain. Then we had the 2x ancient shards where I pulled Gwendolyn and Kyoku, as well as more epic champions for the fusion. So right now, the only champion I need to complete the fusion for Lady Mikage is Enda Moonbeam. So, excited about that, truly. Looking forward to progressing further and hopefully getting that champion, because I think Lady Mikage would be a massive addition. I've talked about that in other videos, so I won't rehash that here, but she is an amazing champion, right? So, um, and there's been a couple other epics. I did actually get the +1 my Geomancer, which was cool. So you'll see here he is +1, and that's because my faction Guardians is full for dwarves with Geomancers, with an extra Geomancer being in there. So potentially, if I ever do get another dwarf to finish this out, then I will be able to +2 my Geomancer, and I think that's fine. So yeah, we've been doing really good on shard pulls. Now, I've responded to these comments, and a couple of the comments are, well, how are you, can you teach me, like, how are you getting so many shards? And the reality is, Clan Boss. I've talked at length about this, but it is worth mentioning. If you look at the Transcendent chest, you'll see that, or sorry, if you look at any of the chests from Clan Boss, going all the way to Novice, there's a chance for an Ancient Shard, okay? Or sorry, easy. I don't know why I called it Novice. But that chance increases on Nightmare and Ultra Nightmare. Let me see if I can find a reference real quick. Yep, there we go. So this is a table for Clan Boss drop rates. So on, Novice, that's why I said Novice. Okay. So on easy, you have only a 1.28% chance to get a shard. At Ultra Nightmare, you have an 82% chance that you're going to get a shard. Then it gets broken down here about the percentages that the shard will be either a sacred, a void, or an ancient. Right now, with Clan Boss, and the rate that I'm actually able to use all 4 of my keys. We've got 1 key right here, Ultra Nightmare, 1 key right here on Nightmare, and I'm going to put the 3rd key that I just got, right? Or I didn't just, yeah, actually, yeah, I got it an hour ago. I'm going to put that into Brutal. And then I'm going to do the other one in Hard. So I'm using 4 keys a day, and I'm getting from that 8 chests from Clan Boss. That's 8 opportunities to get a shard, whether it's ancient, void, or sacred. I'm getting opportunities to get a shard. Those are the best odds that you have of getting a shard in the game. And that's why Clan Boss is so important. It should be the focus of any new account. It can be very difficult. You saw me struggle to get a team that could do a 1 key Ultra Nightmare. But I eventually got there. I did have to get Wixwell, who's arguably broken, but I was able to pull that off. And I'm sure other champions will come along. I'm not saying you have to get a Wixwell to do that. There's still unkillable teams. There's still killable teams with really strong champions. There's other teams that revolve around shield extension with Brogni and things like that. So it's entirely possible to get a really strong Clan Boss team, but it will take a while. But that is why I say that should be the priority of any account. And that is how I've managed to get all those shards. That's how I spent 111 shards yesterday, and I already have 3 more shards this morning because of Clan Boss. It's just plain and simple. That is the secret to this game, is Clan Boss, right? And I'm going to pull these shards. I'm going to do that right now for you guys. I'm mostly looking for End of Moonbeam, if I'm honest, because... Hang on, my audio is kicking out. If I was to get a Legendary, then that would fully change the direction of this video. So I'm mostly just looking for End of Moonbeam while we are still under the 2x. But you guys are probably wondering why I'm laughing, because Ilsinia is... I technically needed her too. I got Kira, but I didn't have Ilsinia until just now. You'll see if I go to High Elves, you'll see she's new, right? Here's the red dot. So I got Ilsinia. No End of Moonbeam, but I don't need Ilsindia anymore because I already got Kira the Watcher. So that's really funny to me that I got an epic for the fusion. It's just the wrong epic that I no longer needed. But um, I'm going to continue to do that over the weekend, and I will record those polls. I waited specifically to do that on camera because I'm just looking for End of Moonbeam at this point. Would I love a legendary? Absolutely, but I'm a little behind on legendary leveling up, as you've seen. We have quite the roster now, and none of them are built. So, um, now let's talk about why Mithrala next. I went Mithrala next because she checks off a lot of boxes in multiple areas of the game that I need. I need a cleanse. I need a 3-turn cleanse. This is a really good 3-turn cleanse. You have Strengthen, you have a shield, which is very large shield, by the way, or it can be if you build Mithrala correctly, and a full cleanse of your team. And the other thing that I love about Mithrala is that her base speed is pretty high. Just in case, I'm going to go to here to pull it up. So 109 speed, that's 1 speed less than Arbiter, I think. So, very fast, very easy to build, good, just all around a great champion, and I can use her everywhere, including arena, wave content. Hex is a very powerful ability in the game, beyond just Hydra. We also get both increased attack and increased defense on our team from her, plus a little bit of extra poison damage. I am, and then of course the petrification debuff. And I don't want to go in her kit too much, but petrification is a very, very powerful control mechanic. And when paired with, well, really, you don't even pair it with anything. It is in itself very powerful. And then, of course, there's the fact that she naturally gains a high amount of resistance because the more accuracy put on her, the higher her resistance becomes. So she is a very, very good champion just in general in this game. And I am very excited to build her up specifically for Hydra, but also for many, many areas of this game. So that's why I chose to go with her. Now, the next question would be, okay, well, then who's next? Okay, you made your choice. You went with Mithrala. Who's next? Do you go Gwendolyn, again, for really good AoE decreased speed and leech, debuff extension, a kind of a baby steal here, and big damage that she can put out plus extra turn mechanics? It's very tempting to go Gwendolyn. That's what I'm leaning towards. There is Bambus. I know that Bambus is not well liked, but I gotta admit there is a member of our community that has been poking me every day and saying, hey, what about Bambus? What about Bambus? And Bambus does a lot of amazing things. You've got a decreased speed on an A1 that can be an AoE, which is crazy. I'm just rereading here. You have a big shield with buff extension, again, that can prove to be very powerful. He works with Wixwell very well for that reason. And then you do have Enfeeble on one enemy, and it's a places, so it can, you don't have to worry about weak hits or anything. It's an interesting kit for sure. What is his base speed at 60? 110. So yeah, I mean, you could build him, you could kind of build him like an Arbiter, right? In a way, and go first and use that to, like, this is just something I've toyed around with, but you could use that to basically cripple by placing Enfeeble. The problem is that it's not a protected Enfeeble, but you could place Enfeeble on the damage dealer and hope that they don't get it removed by any other mechanics. But that's in PvP, of course. but I do think there is some really good mechanics in this kit that originally maybe didn't seem all that great. So I have been considering building Bambus. I would say Bambus, while great, I do think that I feel better about building Gwendolyn, who brings a lot of the same stuff: decreased speed, decreased accuracy. I think he brings, yeah, decreased accuracy. Um, so I'm kind of leaning in her direction, but there's still a lot of time. Also, I need to 6-star Kira the Watcher and fully ascend her in order to feed her and level her up to 60 in order to build Mikage, right? In order to get Mikage. So she's up there. Of course, if I get the epics to make Tatsu, then Tatsu has to get leveled. So who knows what the future may hold in relative to me getting Lady Mikage. And then there's some epics that have been waiting for a very long time to get leveled up, right? We've got Inquisitor Shamail, who is really good at stopping fears in Hydra. You've got Phenax, who is really good right now in the meta because he can block revive. So because he can block revive and because it's a double hitter, so he can bypass things like Ultimate Death Knight, and this hits really hard. If I was to build him right, I could do a lot. You'll see I've already fully booked him out and +1'd him. He could be very powerful for me in PvP, especially live arena where I've been playing quite a bit more often. There's Ugo, who I could use for Hydra especially. So I've got a lot of different options right now in the game and different directions that I want to head in. So there is also Oboro, who I've seen a lot of videos. I haven't really like researched them that well, but it seems like she can hit very hard in Hydra and could pair very well with some of the other champions that I have. I've got a lot of buff extension and things like that. This would, you know, hopefully be an AoE hit, which also brings decreased defense, which I would lose if I go the new guy instead of Ugo. If I go the Houndmaster guy. So yeah, I'm really kind of split on the directions that I want to go in. Also, I just realized I don't know if I empowered with Old Gruckus. Oh, I did. Yeah, okay, I did right there. That's right. All right. So I'm very kind of all over the place trying to as far as who the next 6-star will be. I think the best thing to do is to wait till after the fusion and also wait and see what comes with the fusion. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, they did a little tease. They said there might be a new Hound being added to the game. A lot of people are theorizing that this may be a guaranteed legendary. Very similar to when we fused Ancora and got a guaranteed Narcissus, right? With enough shards. Now, I don't have nearly enough shards on the free-to-play. I do on the main, depending on what, you know, what they charge, of course, and if it's worth it. But I truly... I don't like playing the game on a what if, you know, or a maybe. Like, oh, well, you know, and it's a great tactic by them to try and get a lot of shard purchases, right? A lot of people may buy their void shards for that guaranteed. A lot of people just spent some void shards on a lesser guaranteed in White Dryad Naya or Nia. So now they could recoup some of those, you know, if people spent their savings and now they introduce another guaranteed and now they go and have to, you know, put those 40 shards back in. It makes a lot of sense to do it. There's no official word on that. I haven't seen anything. This is honestly not even coming from other content creators. This is coming from my chat, my Discord, and like even my clan chat. People are talking about, oh, I wonder if they're gonna have a guarantee, and it may not be visible anymore, but it was in my clan Discord and stuff. So I keep hearing it. I have nothing confirmed about it, but it does make sense logically, but it also made sense for Narcissa, or what was her name? That's not her name, not Incensa, to be a guarantee. Everyone was expecting that to be the guaranteed void legendary, and it's not. So who knows what could happen? Only time will tell. But as far as what that champion can do on my free account, I think it's really valuable. I think he's really good. What I love most about the kit is the fact that he brings block debuffs and boosting turn meter and is a speed or a lead. Now, if we look at my account, and you want to talk about who sorry, Aura's is separate, isn't it? Yeah, Aura, speed Aura. So, Arbiter's speed Aura is Arena, 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 19% in all battles. Man, his Aura is so good. 20% in all battles from Razzlebark, but no turn meter filling, right? I've mentioned before that a strategy that I'm a fan of is the new guy's 19% speed Aura. Let me see if I can find it quickly. I might not be able to find it fast enough to... what I'm trying to find out. I know that he had an Aura. I'm trying to find it on... Oh, I guess I could just go to Reddit. Don't know why I was doing that the hard way. There we go. Okay, so it's the same Aura. There's a lot of waiting and work for you guys. Sorry, but he has the same Aura as Haikatoon and Deacon, but what he brings is block buffs, which is very essential and a buff you always want up. We've already talked about it at length in another video, so I'm not going to go too big into it, but I do think for this particular account, there's a lot of value in bringing him because of the turn meter boosting in particular. I gain turn meter, I gain block buffs. There's even a little bit of a hex mechanic in there if I get unlucky with some stuff. Yeah, I'm very intrigued by the champion, even without the new hound that may, make him stronger, right? So, who knows? I know that I'm going to go for him on this account, provided that it's not too crazy of a fusion. We have seen sometimes where they're like putting way too high of a demand on certain areas of the game, or they haven't lined stuff up properly, and it can be a challenging fusion. So I hope that's not the case here, but it is definitely a possibility, and I want to be mindful of that going into the fusion. I don't want to overcommit. I'm not as high as I would like to be on gems, as my own doing, but hopefully we can gain some of those back through various events and proper saving going into the fusion. So, yeah, I feel like that's most of what I wanted to talk about on the count. New champions have come in. I am gonna, as soon as I'm done recording this, I'm gonna re-gear my Mithrala, put her into Hydra, and get to work there and see what we're able to do with her built properly in the team. Um, so I'm excited for that. I'm excited for the cleansing and everything out of that. So the other thing I wanted to mention, in case, because it was not an official continuity episode, right? It wasn't in one of my episodic numbered episodes. It was its own thing. Was the rebuild on Sun Wukong? We did manage to get Sun Wukong and Savage. This has proved to be extremely effective for my account. I'm very happy with the changes that I made, but I also did so while keeping him in a similar speed to what he was. In fact, I think he's slightly faster than before I rebuilt him. And this is very important because that makes him still viable for Hydra until I get another Block Buffs champion, whether it's Ugo or this new guy. It remains to be seen. But to place block buffs and increase turn meter, I really like that. And then I just have to place them with a decreased defense champion at that point. That could bring other benefits to the team. So who knows? I'm also talking about my main account here when I'm bringing this up. So we've got a lot of theory crafting to do, a lot of experimenting to do, but I wanted to do a very traditional episode just talking about the account. I have other more focused episodes coming up. You'll see those dropping shortly. So keep an eye out for those. As always, thank you for watching. You guys have been so great with the support in the last couple of days or week. I felt I was in a little bit of a low point. I lost 2 subscribers, and then you guys shot that subscriber count way up. Thank you for everyone that has been supporting the channel and all your comments. I've been trying to reply to as many of them as I can, or just, giving you guys hearts and letting you know, hey, I appreciate your comments and stuff. So you guys are doing a great job supporting the channel. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. You're really making a dream a reality for me. So keep that up, guys. I appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. That's all I got to say. I'll see y'all later. Take care.